what's the FOIA request you got for me?
Well, first I got to figure out the first stuff we talked about before I figure out if I want to make your life hell for no reason or if I want to be civil about it.
Okay, okay. And I looked at the case.
The Feld one, right?
Yeah. With the incident down here. You know, the officer's report looks good. What I see on the camera is some altercation between you and Mr.
This camera?
No, the squad camera.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah. So I do see some altercation.
Does it show anything besides just like me pushing on him? Because he flat out says he didn't see him punch at all, and I just thought that was strange because I noticed him.
Yeah, you didn't see him punch?
He asked what was up, and he was trying to be reasonable to start with, and I had just like clammed up on that same shit, and then he kind of took that as a ego challenge kind of thing. I figured he had seen me being punched, so I figured if I was an asshole, then
I don't see that on the video nor do
That's unfortunate to know that it starts
And I emailed the DA, and then she gave me a response yesterday, and then I talked to her again this morning on it. And the victim basically claims that he choked her. But they didn't charge you with it.
Oh, can I get consent to touch you, like one hand?
No.
No. Okay, well, I by choking, like my hands were down here, not even up there.
What the victim did.
Yeah,
but they didn't charge. They didn't charge that.
My point is, like, his police report sounds good, but it's not really good. If, like I said, if giving you my events and stuff, it doesn't match up with the chronological.
Yeah, and you weren't very,
I wasn't helpful at all.
No,
I know that.
And that's the problem you have. So, you got one
and that's
person
kind of
that's
my problem is I didn't need to do anything until I was done, and then I tried to get a hold of you while I was in there still before they booked me. And I wasn't even booked in until Sunday evening finally, and I was there Saturday morning. Like, that's sad, and they did that on purpose because I wasn't able to bail myself out, do whatever they wanted.
Weren't you charged with felony?
No, they were. Okay, you're right. I forgot about that because they were trying to claim it was bail jumping at first. But had I been able to talk to you, would I have even been in there in bail jumping?
Yeah, because I don't get involved. You know what I mean? At that point, anybody, because somebody's calling me on a Friday night and say, "Hey, I just got arrested." Even if
no, Saturday.
Saturday, even if it's my best friend and he's in there, I'm going to say, "Hey, you were dumb and you got arrested." So
that's the problem, though. If someone's telling you, "Hey, there's a problem," then you end up with stuff like that. If you were on the other side, I wouldn't consider it a buddy club favor. I wasn't on a felony, whatever, bail jumping, and to me that is bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, that was because it was an
my understanding was a felony.
Well, that's what they were operating under, and I was trying to tell them you're fucking wrong kind of thing, because I know it wasn't a felony jumping. I had just gotten done with it Thursday, so I know what it was.
Well, needless to say, I looked at it.
It sucks that we still got to go through it, but I'm more worried about this.
Yeah,
you need to look up the difference.
Okay,
now I want to file charges that he willfully said he's going to take action. I want to file charges on that clown. Because he's taking actions on my automobiles, and this is going to the State Department of Justice. I need to have a complaint through a law enforcement officer because he's told you on an official forum on record that he's taking action and they are pursuing despite being raised that they're wrong and the ordinance is misapplied.
But the process to determine if it's
no, it starts at you because I'm telling you my rights are being violated. There's no court process. That's what makes him able to get away with what he wants. And you talk about the buddy club, you can just as easily consider it a crime because I can point it to you. It is a crime, and you've been aware and you are notified. So you are trying to pretend that it is not an actionable crime with a statute or a code. He is willfully depriving property. 1983 is a legitimate concern, and there is more than a tangible one. I can look back through there. I know you have it. You can go and file a legitimate criminal complaint on him because he is willfully acting outside the bounds of his scope. He knows that. He wouldn't even. They won't, and they won't.
Well, they're the ones that do it.
But
I mean, I don't have the
no.
You do it.
Then you can't go give me a seatbelt ticket. Don't play that game. It's the same crime. You give people crime or citations for stuff you don't witness. That's the same thing there, and it's the same thing. You just witnessed a crime in front of you by his own words. And now you're trying to tell me that that's not an arrestable offense even though it's treason and against your oath, let alone his oath. I can't wait to see that he's got an oath on file now. As soon as I see that signature, his ass is grass. That's all I needed was that dumbass to keep saying it. And the fact that he didn't tell them a vehicle and an automobile in here, this isn't an opinion anymore. I made sure to ask him, and I made sure to make sure what I asked. And that gentleman that didn't want to care, everyone is going to be on there because of that and because of his stupid actions. I'm not putting up with that. That's what's right. His interpretation is what's wrong, though.
I'm not going to argue with it.
I would like you to do something and take my written complaint about him.
When are you going to write that up?
No, you write up my written complaint. I just told you a crime had occurred and he's violating my rights, sir. That's on you to go and file that seatbelt crime, right? Right? You don't just act on stuff without it. I mean, this is the buddy club right here. That criminal is walking away, and you don't have even so much as his information. You know who it is, but you didn't even ask him to ID, even though you witnessed the crime. You know, that makes you implicated, and I have to put you in there now that I have to go. You know, that stay I had on you, it's going to look even more embarrassing because it's going to happen all over again. The fact that that moronic tool wanted to bring it up because I tried to do him a favor is going to further cost him. Now he's going to have an injunction, an attorney with an injunction. So you're not taking a complaint on his willful criminal action.
I'll take your complaint.
Okay, well, I want to make sure that I see your written complaint on everyone that you see commit something that no one gave you any written paperwork to start with, but yet you still place cuffs and barge into their houses. You know, you can't pick and choose the law. That's what makes your actions criminal.
Right.
I was hoping for some good about it with the charges, even though, like I told you before, I have no faith in the justice system. So now I've got to go public with everything. And the fact that that stupid piece of shit can't even find the second part of the video and has the audacity to claim I edited it, I don't edit shit because I don't care about my actions or attitude. I'm not a coward, and anyone that wants to come at me with a disorderly or obstruction or obscenity because of what I do or anything in there, I will happily tie that up. That dumbass can't even tell the second part. Did you even know I had a second part on that video, or are you under the assumption it was just one?
I never really watched it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you do, let me know if you can't find the second part, because I need to figure out how that dumbass never utters his dumb stupidity again. For him to say everything he did in there, it's deceitful and wrong. What Mark Desital accused me of being, you just witnessed it right there and you just let the criminal drive away. Because I don't have paperwork drawn up to do your job for you.
Right.
I'm not a law enforcement officer. I'm just one of the people.
On the spot anyways, right?
Would you file charges on him? Because that's more than an arrestable felony there. There's 3 different felonies. Felonies are arrestable, right?
Yeah, they get me.
They're arrestable. Felonies are a felony, aren't they?
Right, but I mean, arrest as in, you know, we don't always necessarily arrest on scene.
I know what you're talking about, but what I'm saying is I just want to sign a paper that you have my report, and then you take my report and send it to the district attorney.
So your report is that
you just heard him take willful actions by misapplication of the city ordinance, which is no different than a law being applied. That's not a, you heard it. He didn't even want to ask, and there is no reason a person being forthcoming wouldn't have took the opportunity to shut me down. If I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, would he have taken any opportunity to prove me wrong? He did nothing but go up there and do his stupid little playbook like on his video, and that's why that dumb fool that wanted to protect him because of his obvious bias and he couldn't keep his contempt in check, that they would have watched that video, and now people are going to watch that video, especially that dumb fool thinks it's edited. He's going to hear the other part of it, and it's funny because, no, if he says I'm flipping him off, then he lied right there. I need to clarify that.
who would you flip off?
I flipped him off when he was telling me to get out of his office and I was wrong.
Because people don't have to put up with your...
I don't have to put up with him being a liar. He was telling me I was wrong. Don't sidetrack me, please, right here, Eric. He watched the second part of the video. I just need to clarify that. That's a 4th felony, just so you know now. That's a 4th one because now he's lying. That was a public forum on record. That's under oath technically as far as a criminal proceeding. That's a 4th felony in its own because he said it was an edited, manipulated video. It starts from the end of one and goes right in, and there's a second overlap between the two to where it shows a frame from one and the other and the same video kind of thing. So that's a 4th one. Just to know that he lied under oath in a public forum after being put on notice. I tried to put him on notice before and he didn't even want him. These are legal significance to claim you can't have ignorance of a law.
Right. All right, so.
The Constitution is above all, right? Is the Constitution above all?
Right.
Why can they have an ordinance that is clearly unconstitutional?
Well, that's what we're trying to have the judge decide.
The judge doesn't decide that, though. The judge doesn't. The judge sends it up the food chain, and then they try to pick apart what they tried to do right there. Where would I want it changed? The part where it says vehicles and my automobiles are being applied and pursued. No, I didn't get an answer still. Not one person wanted to pipe up and tell me how many vehicles versus automobiles were towed, and he didn't even make the legal distinction. Now that I know, he can't charge me with anything. It's not my job to know. It's their job to know. They wrote the ordinance, and then they condone. They condone. Reinhard Balzerzak told me, and aldermen knew, they are aware. That's why I did what I did. Huh?
How many?
350, not an exact number, right, approximate.
No, approximately.
But what I'm saying is no one would tell me automobile or vehicle. That is something that, as an attorney, he is obligated to do. You cannot just claim all black people are under arrest and then letting 5 gray people go past.
On that.
But it's not, though. Is there a difference between a vehicle and an automobile?
Depends, I guess, what you're